Let me say something. The one thing I can say in Arabic, Amatwa, which means good health, good life. Um, there's a lot of crazy, absurd things in the news right now, like just bonker things. But what did I do today? I cleaned, okay? So I had some Christmas lights around my door. And I thought that I wanted to keep them. I'm going to start chopping my broccoli. I thought that I wanted to keep my Christmas lights up, but then something not so good happened. I went to go check the mail. And as I came back, I couldn't get the door closed. And I thought something was wrong. I thought the stripping was falling out. And I was like, oh. So, I was trying to figure out what was catching on the door. And then I realized, oh, the lights had fallen down into the door and it tore half of them apart. And then it was just like a comedy of errors because one thing after another, it started making the rug bunch up underneath, and then I realized, oh, I need to dust. So that's what I did. Before I get started, I have a pan right here. I have a couple pans. I think I'm gonna get out some oil to oil the pan as I put the veggies in. And I want to show you some nasty vitamins I have that I hate. I want better ones next time. So I usually just like to eat vegetables, but since I'm a vegan plant-based, I try to take my B12 supplement, and then I have like a zinc one, and some of these vitamins are horrible. They're like first course. So they're saying everybody should take their zinc vitamin. And they're B12 one, but I just don't want these kind of new vitamins. They're just not good. I've tried several times to like them. Next time I will pay more and get better vitamins. I'm just not a fan of these, but they have cheap vegan vitamins. That I do remember or recall back when I bought them. Anyhow, I have some canola oil that I'm going to put in the bottom of the dish. I haven't much wax paper left. A little bit of wax paper left. I need to buy some more wax paper for cooking. Rub oil on the bottom of the pan. Don't be afraid to cook with oil. I cook with oil. I like it. It makes food taste better. So yeah, I ended up organizing all afternoon. That's what I did. Okay, I hate organizing. I love an organized house. I love it once the house is more organized. I do. But I just don't love it. Like, a lot of people say that they get excited when they clean and organize their house. But I don't know. why that's not me. Like, I've never been like, oh my gosh, I get to organize today. Yay, 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 yay. Like, I've just never been in that camp, I guess. But it seems like other people get really super excited when they start organizing their houses. For some reason, that is just not me. But I do love broccoli. I have to say that. Probably gonna add a little bit of oil once I start roasting it in the oven. And I think frozen broccoli is a ripoff, okay? So I always like to get the fresh one better because I like to cut up the whole thing. The whole thing is edible, by the way. It's kind of hard, like, to get into the stem, but that's fine. And you know what's kind of cool about buying fresh broccoli or cauliflower? I don't do cauliflower rice, but if you cut up broccoli really finely or cauliflower, you kind of get the same effect, and you don't even need a food processor. You could just take your time with a cutting board and a knife, you know? Good old-fashioned way. Like, I mean, I had a little food processor a few years ago. Like, I never got the high-end one yet. But I don't know, like, I've kind of thought about it too. Like, I really like my blender. I just have a blender. And it does a lot of things. I mean, I guess a food processor would do more. But one thing I don't mind, well, I need to actually sit down and do it, you know, stand up and do it. It's just like when I start to chop the veggies, I just have to actually do it. That's all. So what I do is I like to chop up veggies really nice into smaller pieces. Like if I'm really into it, sometimes I'll cut it even smaller. But like that was the one thing I never liked about eating out at a restaurant or something. Is like it's just so lazy. Like you'll have like the biggest piece of a vegetable and it's not even enjoyable to chew. And it makes me never think like, why would I want to eat at a restaurant that serves food like that? It's just not enjoyable, you know? Especially when you could just chop it up yourself. And once I get back into home cooking, I'm the biggest proponent of just cooking at home. And I always think to myself, why, oh, why did I ever used to eat like lunch out? Because I didn't prepare enough. And I know that. Like, I like to be real and honest. Like some people, they're extreme advanced planners where they pack this lunch and yeah, okay, that's great and all. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just was never like an extreme advanced lunch planner. I think it just goes back to high school. That's where I started not really taking a lunch anymore because I started going to the library at lunch and not wanting to take a lunch with me because I don't know, it was just a mood I was in at the time. Like I wanted to read instead. I didn't want to necessarily eat at lunch because it just felt like a chore at that time when I was a kid. So it was kind of a bad habit. Like, I mean, I do eat, but it's just something that I've kind of carried with me since then that I don't necessarily need to eat every 3 or 4 hours. Like, I'm sometimes okay going 6 or 7 hours without eating, and people are like, well, isn't your blood sugar going to drop? Aren't you going to feel nauseated? But I don't know. Sometimes I like to go a long stretch of time. But then, like, if I'm around other people, they want to eat more frequently. But to me, sometimes I don't. Like, sometimes I just want to eat maybe later in the day or night. You know, I don't always want to be eating a lot of little meals. You can definitely prep things and snack, but I don't know. I just like to be honest about how I approach food, and honestly, it's just kind of how I've always done it. One thing I think I am going to try to be better about is maybe trying to take smoothies with me. With the mask, though, I don't really want to eat, though, because I'm just like, it's always like you have to find somewhere to go off and eat by yourself. And not only that, I just feel nauseated if I eat and then I have to put a mask back on. Like, I tried it again the other day and I felt like I was going to choke. So, yeah, sometimes it feels like more of an incentive. Like, I think I'm going to start making my smoothies though, because today, when I was organizing all the furniture, because of my little mishap with the lights, and then realizing, oh, the rug's bunching up, and let's dust everything. Because, hey, why not? Let's just do it all at once, like some big cleaning project. Um, we had made this big, giant smoothie. It was the size of like a large mason jar. I think I already stuck it back in the dishwasher, but it was so good. And I just kept sipping on that. It was a clementine, mango, and almond milk smoothie. And I kept sipping on it. And I kind of, okay, I once thought that I liked bananas in smoothies, but I actually kind of liked not having a banana in a smoothie because it wasn't overfilling, if that makes any sense. Like, it just felt lighter. And it actually made me think this is the next kind of smoothie I want to try making. I want to try making an orange Julius smoothie, or maybe I just take like the clementines and puree that. I think that could be really good. My nephew's very silly. There was a smoothie shop that opened, and he thought it would be silly to ask them if they had a ketchup smoothie. And they were like, ketchup's not a smoothie. But he said, technically it is because it's a vegetable, it's a fruit. Silly. Really? Why don't you make your own ketchup smoothie? I almost feel like the next time, like when lockdown is over and all this COVID stuff is over, I can't see him. I don't know. Can I be honest? Like 5 years? Maybe this will be over in 5 years. I don't think it's going to be over in 100 days, whatever. I don't know, 5 years. Maybe I can make him a ketchup smoothie. I don't know. And his girlfriend have a really cute little TikTok, though. I've looked at it, but my nephew doesn't really talk to me that often. Like, I'll try to message him, but I don't really hear from him anymore because he's just too busy being a young person. I'm just like, okay. Forgot your aunt who like spent all her time watching you. Like, I used to watch him all the time. Like, there's so many fun little adventures. Well, I don't know if he thinks it's fun, but maybe someday he will. But I used to love to go on walks, so I said, let's go on a walk. And he was just so. Look, I love my sister. She's more into walking now, but at that time, I don't think she went walking with the kids too often. So I said, let's go for a walk in the forest. So we went walking down this hill, and oh my gosh, like I was carrying my niece, okay? It's like 2005. That's a while back. She was a baby. And my nephew got really upset. He's like, why can't you carry me? And I said, because I can't carry like both of you at the same time. And he got so just red in the face. He's like, why can't you carry me? And I'm like, you need to walk. So I made him walk. I'm like, you're a big boy. You're like 5 years old. You need to walk. He wasn't happy, but I'm like, this is a nice little hike. Like when I was a kid, we did that all the time. Like we always went hiking, and that was just a thing. Like I walked before I ever talked. Actually, I didn't talk a lot until I was 4. Or like I could talk. I had the capacity to talk. I just didn't say anything. And it's funny because my mom said later on that I made up for it. Ever since after turning the age of 4 by talking nonstop. Stop talking to movies. Yeah, sometimes I talk. It's pretty annoying to people, I guess. But yeah, sometimes I just like if people are sitting down to watch a show, unless it's something I'm really into, it probably is better I'm not there because I don't want to disrupt people's good time with the show. So, but yeah, there's some random family stories for you. I need to wash my next head of broccoli. I actually got a good amount of broccoli this time, so I'm always like, one head is not enough. I need like to make 2 heads of broccoli. I need to roast like a lot of vegetables all at once because when I eat it, I like to eat several bowls of it. Like I like to have like if I eat something, that's what I like to eat. Because I do eat vegan protein, but yeah, I'm vegan, and even before I went vegan, I like to eat a big bowl of broccoli or a big plate of broccoli. I don't want to just eat a tiny, tiny bit like on the side, like when I'm making broccoli, I do eat it. Like I ate vegan Boca burger earlier. I'm thinking about making some black bean burgers. I'm gonna start making tofu again. That'll be exciting. Like I haven't made tofu in years because tofu is hard to find right now, and I hate that. Well, unless I want to go down to the more specialty grocery store. I just hate it that the more generic grocery store doesn't have tofu. And I'm like, tofu is not really that exotic in the year 2021. You don't carry tofu yet. I'm just like, and you don't even have a Middle Eastern section. Like you have a little rinky dinky Asian section. Oh, for the first time ever, they had Lebanese bread. Like, I don't know. I'm like, it's so rinky dinky. Like, I'm like, why is it so boring? I know you're a basic market, although sometimes I'll find things at this basic market that are kind of cool. Like, you know what I found? Gosh, I became my dad shopping the bargain bin. Like, I used to get so annoyed with him. I'd be like, get out of the bargain bin. But then, I don't know, when COVID hit, I started missing how he would go look at the bargain bin. Like, it kind of made me nostalgic for some of his silly ways. So, like, one day I just started looking at the bargain bin and I started thinking about how if my dad was there, he'd be looking at the bargain bin. And usually the bargain bin has a lot of weird nonsense on it, like smashed pies and like what's a pie that somebody might have opened, especially in these times. But like a month ago, I did find this Japanese sesame oil for $2, and yeah, it's a small thing, but it was originally I think like 8 or something. And they had figs. Like I didn't buy the figs because I have a lot of fresh fruit right now. But yeah, they had figs, so I thought that was kind of cool. This was like the smoothie I made earlier. This one's for my sister. Oh, my apple. And I still have a lot of little baby apples that my mom had sent down off the tree. So yeah, I didn't even cook today, but like I had a lot of like I pushed myself to do things like organize. It's almost 10 o'clock at night and I'm finally cooking because I was just like, ugh, I'm gonna do it. But since I don't have to go anywhere tomorrow, I don't mind staying up late to cook. Oh, nice. One thing about this era is sometimes, I like to go out and go for walks and things like that. And it's very healthy to do that. Sometimes I don't like to go anywhere and I don't like to do anything. And now you kind of can. But then on the flip side, some days you just don't want to do that. These are the best little apples. So good. So I'm still cutting broccoli. I just take my time because I'm like, who am I rushing for? It's just, I'm sure my way of being, like when it comes to like making food, infuriates people that are in a rush. But I don't know, if I want to cook something like make a vegetable, roast it, why am I gonna rush? I'm gonna do it the way I like. I'm gonna cut it up into nice small pieces. And it's so satisfying. Like if you actually just take the time to cook, like I don't know, it could be with any kind of food, unless you just like really big pieces of food. If you take the time to just cut things into more fine pieces, it makes your eating experience so much more enjoyable, I feel. I don't know. Just like small pieces of food. I don't like big pieces of things. Like especially if it's a vegetable like broccoli, I don't want like a big floret of it, you know? Nice bite-sized piece. Is watch it. see, I want to share it in a couple different spots. Okay, so let's keep going. I really do love these little apples. They're so good. So this is not a New Year's resolution thing. I always say, I eat relatively healthy, but I'm just picking my healthy eating into higher gear. Because when I eat vegetables, I just feel optimal and I really feel good. And the stem, I love to cut up the stem. This is my favorite part. Okay? It's so good. I'm gonna get some more things for cooking. I think I want to get a new set of cooking knives because these ones are just they're pretty good. Okay, but I need to get better. Like, because I love to chop up vegetables, and I'm thinking, I thought, oh, I'll wait, but no, I just want nicer ones. By the way, there's a funny YouTube channel I've been watching called Vivian Tries. And she was like cracking me up today. She was talking about she was trying out it was an older video, like a roller cutter. And she was like, I think a pizza wheel does the same thing. And I was wondering, I've never tried this, but does your pizza wheel like chop? You have to be really careful if you do it with a pizza wheel. But yeah, your pizza wheel. I mean, I don't know if you want to do this with your pizza wheel. You might wear it out. But your pizza wheel does chop vegetables. It's kind of cute, actually, in a weird kind of way. I never would have thought about chopping up vegetables with the pizza wheel, but apparently Vivian Tries she just made like, what's funny? Let's see. I mean, I don't know if it's funny, but I almost feel like the pizza wheel might be sharper than my knives, so I probably need to sharpen my knives and buy some new knives, but put all my nice broccoli into its containers. I actually think maybe the third one, because I kind of want it to lay flatter when it cooks this time. I think I'm going to redistribute some of the broccoli into 3 different containers. I love broccoli, you see. It's like my favorite vegetable. I'm not on team George Bush. Well, George Bush not around anymore. George Bush Sr. Oh, he hated broccoli. Remember, he said that his mother make him eat broccoli in the White House. Like, remember that? Like, it's probably before the time of a lot of younger people. But yeah, like I miss those times. Like that was our biggest conundrum in 1990 or so, was a president saying that he didn't like to eat broccoli. And now we have what we have now. But anyway, that's enough of that in half. Here's the purple onion. I love purple onion. It's my favorite kind of onion. And I don't want to buy the bags of onion anymore because I just feel like they're a waste. Like, I don't want to waste money on buying a bag of onion. try to get some good little florets in there so we don't waste them. I'm all about not wasting it. Gonna cut our onion. You know what's funny is I always used to do food vlog and food cooking, talking, but like I just kind of stopped doing it as much a few years ago just because I was getting busier with other things going on. But I kind of wish I never would have lapsed on that. Like before the pandemic, I knew how to cook. I could do it. Like, it wasn't hard. For me, sometimes it gets harder, so I kind of just force it. You don't need the food processor. You really don't. But this is where my eyes start watering, is when I'm chopping onion. That's not good. I hate chopping onion. My eyes water so profusely. It's horrible. I have to rub my eyes. There's a funny Shakira video actually where this man thinks she's crying, but she's cutting an onion. You know what? I love raw onion though. I'll eat it. The cutting part. But I love raw onion. I really do, actually. This part is too slippy. Okay, so every time I cut an onion, like every few minutes, I need to like wipe my eyes. I'm just honest about it. Some people are like, "Oh, you can stick the onion in the fridge and that'll mitigate it," but it really doesn't. Like for me anyway, like that. I've tried that trick. Okay, I tried that trick, and I still got the watery eyes. I really like onions too, by the way. Broccoli and onion. I used to chop up onion like every day. I swore by it. So yeah, I'm trying to get back into my onion thing. Like, onion is so good for you. It makes your energy level just like go through the roof. It really does. And when I eat broccoli and onions, I don't know, I feel like I have so much energy. I really do. So anyway, I'm gonna kind of just let it all individually. Okay. So I'm gonna finish distributing the onions into here. I'm going to roast the veggies at 400 degrees for maybe about an hour with a little bit of canola oil and salt and pepper. Personally, I would put some chipotle powder in there and some jalapeno pepper. I might still put a fresh jalapeno pepper in there, but maybe the little one and that one too. But I think I'm going to try and make that one more mild because I'm making this for somebody else who has very sensitivity to spice. But I like things pretty spicy. So, do I have? I have a lot of vegetables. I have a lot of chili peppers, like fresh ones. Well, they're not super fresh anymore. Like they've been in my fridge for a bit because my mom got these off the tree. But what I'm gonna do is I think I will put a jalapeno pepper in mine. I think that I'll designate one of these as being for me. So that I can have a bit more spice because I like spiciness in it. I just like things spicy. And I'll keep that one more bland. I really love that I finally got some Pyrex. Okay, that was something I got around Thanksgiving. I got these Pyrex bowls. They're really cool. Because honestly, I was going to go to Walmart, but nothing was open on Thanksgiving Day except for that generic Food for Less grocery store. So I just bought the set of Pyrex, and they're so much nicer for baking because now I have more like ovenware I can use for baking, which I really enjoy. Anyway, I think I'm going to end the video there because I need to preheat the oven to 400 degrees and I need to heat everything up a bit. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and this is broccoli time. Broccoli, it's my favorite thing. Thanks for watching.